Hello and welcome to What Are You Saying? #Ways, where we talk about topics in the news as it affects us all. I am Osayua Mesale, and today we have so somebody that has been hiding. We finally brought her leg out. she's been with the show but behind the scene forever, and she finally decided to face her demons and come and join us live. Hi, Franca Oswago. Fine woman, how you day?
I'm fine, thank you.
How are you doing?
Very fine, thank you.
Okay, so for people that do not know Franca, who are you?
I'm Franca.
You see, this is my problem with you. Say your market, Mbano. Always hiding.
I'm Franca.
But at least that you finally came to join us, sit with us.
It feels good.
Yes, you're welcome.
Feels good. Thank
How
you.
are you?
I'm very
so
fine,
for those that
you.
do not know her, she's an entrepreneur extraordinaire.
Thank you.
Making things happen behind the scenes.
Thank you. Thank you.
This one, we have not put our phones on silent. God help me. It should not ring on set. Hi, NJ. How I love your hair.
Oh, thank you.
My God.
Thank you very much.
I am gonna cut my hair.
Everything is just repping.
Everything is repping. How are you, NJ? How was work? How's the week been for you?
It's been a tough week, but it's going great. We can't back down now. We're too far gone. So we just take each day as it comes and just deal with the challenges of the day. So.
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. It's been a very, very interesting week, actually.
Yeah.
You know, for some strange reason, you know, from Monday, I've just had a persistent headache. I just had to kind of like I try to shut down sometimes. My mind still is just actively working. I say, Father Lord, hey, this way. When will my sponsor come so that I can relax and be taken care of?
They're on their way.
All right, so tonight, right, you know, it's our ladies' night out. When you see us come out like this, you know that the conversation has to be the one that concerns everybody right now in Nigeria. But if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, it's at Official Upgrade TV. Please click the link, share the links as well, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, as our ladies' night out, we want to have a conversation on how best Nigerians should just respond to our current economic crisis. Because again, you see, there are some things we cannot control. We can't control how the government would what they will do, but we can control how we can respond to the situation, and that's where we want to drive the conversations. I mean, if you have pointers, if you have guide on how we can let's just cope and manage the current situation. I mean, today will be a good day for you to share those tips with us, right? And here's what we found as today's quote. It says, successful diversification requires continuous investment in education, infrastructure, and innovation to create a vibrant ecosystem where new industries can thrive and replace declining ones. All right, so of course, when we open our phone lines, we really love to hear your thoughts on the conversation. As I mentioned earlier, please, if you have a formula, a winning formula that does not involve government, to tell us how we can cope with the current economic crisis, please, I would love to hear all of that. But first, let's run off on a break. When we come back from that break, we want to see what we found in today's news. Nigeria, by extension, Africa, is faced with a lot of challenges.
With the growing youth population and very little engagement.
That is a ticking time bomb.
We're blessed people with a diverse culture who have a lot to say.
And yes, we are talking.
It is important we drive conversations that informs, inspires, and influences thoughts and actions.
If we say there is beauty in diversity, then let us embrace our diverse culture.
We must continue to courageously be the voice of transformation.
As we are the hope for the future,
Yesterday's conversation shaped today.
What are you saying to shape your tomorrow?
We know you have a lot to say, and we are here to hear you. All right, thanks for staying with us. Now, the federal government of Nigeria has set aside July 25th of every year as National Diaspora Day in recognition of the contributions of Nigerians in the diaspora towards national development. National Diaspora Day is widely recognized and officially celebrated in Nigeria and internationally. However, countries may have different observance or celebrations related to their diaspora community. So it's possible there would be regional or local events not widely known. The benefits of celebrating National Diaspora Day often include recognizing an appreciation of diaspora engagement, networking opportunities, showcasing advancement and policies, and development initiatives. So this is World National Abike Dabiri Day. I like it. It's nice. We have a huge diasporan community. I mean, is there anybody on this chair that does not have anybody living abroad? Like literally in Nigeria, it is rare to find a family that you don't have one family member abroad. Or is it possible to still find those people that you don't have one person abroad?
In the north.
Yeah.
I should think in the north.
Well, you'll find in the north, I think.
Yeah, you definitely find in the north.
But not Edo people.
Not Edo. Italy.
Not Igbo people.
Not Igbo, not Edo, not Yoruba.
Not Yoruba people.
No.
Interesting.
But I think you find in the north.
I think these are good times, right? It's good to celebrate people in diaspora. They contribute heavily to our economy. Even if it is by way of sending money back home for their loved ones, whatever it is that they're doing, they're contributing very, very heavily. All right, so let me come to you, NJ. What did you find for us in today's news?
Okay, so today I have 6 Nigerian nationals sentenced to international scheme that defrauded elderly U.S. victims. So a 50-year-old Nigerian national, Amos Prince Oke Ezema, was sentenced to 85 months imprisonment in the U.S. for his role in a transnational inheritance fraud scheme. This sentencing was done on the 22nd of July, and each of these 6 defendants connected with this matter and has been sentenced. So there was a sentencing, and this was done, they sentenced them for defrauding a lot of U.S. elderly citizens of millions of hard-earned savings that they had, their life pensions and everything. And most of this resulted in the death and suicide of some of them, having to think up of the idea of living without, their hard-earned cash, their retirement funds. So I think, well, this is something that has been very consistent with Nigerians, and I don't know what the Nigerian government or the forces, in charge of, whether it being from the judicial part of it, but there has to be some effort by the federal government to curb some of this. I don't know what the plans are, but this...
How they want to cover more?
I don't know. This thing ranges from like cyber crime. Most of these things are cyber crimes.
It doesn't have to do with government.
No, I know. I'm just saying that there are agencies that are charged with, going after people who commit crimes like this.
But I actually think that people should begin to work on themselves.
Oh, no, definitely. There's the people part of it, but these people have no plans to work on themselves.
No, because you can't just say, oh, we should just stop this government thing, honestly.
So I watched a show yesterday. Yeah? There's a show we do every, at 12 noon. It's a new show we started on Upgrade TV, Gossip Gala. I watched the show and I saw one girl, was it yesterday or is it even today, Seth? A young girl said how she's learning Yahoo from the Arugbo people, from the streets. That they just taught her how to do the Yahoo thing. Do you understand? And now I think her first win was maybe 300,000 or something. And she was. I'm saying to you that when it comes to cyber crime or fraud or whatever, I mean, at this point, it is an individual thing. It's either you want to do it or you don't want to do it, because it's the same hardship everybody is facing. So you chose to say it's. So I'm happy that they are even arresting them. Hopefully,
definitely.
That would deter others.
If there's a way, the funny thing is that outside the country, why I'm looking at it like that is that why I said the government is because in most other countries or a few developed countries, what the government does is that they catch a few of them and then use them, their wealth of knowledge within that system to you know, take down maybe a syndicate or something. That's what I'm thinking of.
To extract the...
Yes,
okay.
because
they are gather intelligence.
Yeah, because the groups are getting larger and larger, and the scale.
I get you.
I also heard that in America, I think one of those countries, Biden actually said, "Oh, allow people going to shop and shoplift."
That one's another one.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on. Franca, what did you find for us in the news?
Okay, so drama as mobile police officer and Uber driver fights in Lagos. You know I like Korea.
What happened?
Okay, so a dramatic confrontation unfolded on Monday after a mobile police officer crashed an Uber driver at Wemco Road in Ogba. What happened? I think the driver stopped for some people to cross the zebra crossing, and nobody knows the policeman's state of mind. If he was angry about something, he just hit the Uber driver's car. Uber driver was coming from somewhere. Maybe he has mental issue too, and said, "You want to spoil my car?" And so fight starts.
Wow.
Middle of the road, two mad people coming from their houses. Do you understand?
Well,
and they started fighting, and they ended up at the police station. The Uber driver didn't have money. It was somebody else that came to bail, you know. And I heard he even fainted, you know, because other policemen came, didn't ask what happened,
and started beating him
up.
Jungle justice in
So
is it only jungle? No, but this is the conversation we're actually having tonight.
But this is not jungle. This is not. It's not jungle justice.
Not, because he wasn't wrong.
He wasn't wrong. He actually stopped.
Yeah.
But the policeman said he wanted to hit him.
Let me move on.
People's state of mind.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody is frustrated. So let us find ways to solve our problem in this country. So I saw a very disturbing tweet, right? Alex Onya, I think it was one that tweeted this. And let me just quickly read it. It says, "We're about to lose Herbert Wigwe twice." It said the current governing council of Wigwe University has removed all the expatriates. This includes the vice chancellor and all deputy vice chancellor. They now want to turn it to an ordinary Nigerian university. You know, he now says this is not Herbert Wigwe's dream for this university, and this must never happen. The goal is to be the Ivy League standard university. All the team members that worked closely with Herbert Wigwe to build this fearless vision, they've been removed by the governing council. We can't lose Herbert Wigwe twice. This is his biggest dream, and he has and we should never let it die. So two things for me. First, I believe that in Nigeria, it is really tough for us to find transitional wealth. Right, wealth that is transferred from generation to generation. It's very, very difficult for us to see those generational companies, you know, just leave. I don't know what the real issue is, what causes that we're not able to find companies that can outlive their owners even after they are dead. Second concern. So while I get it that it is difficult for a new set of team that did not understand the vision behind that university to take up the challenge of running the university. I'm wondering, does it mean that if all Nigerians are the ones running the university, that makes it not an Ivy League, it makes it not an international university? Not because when he says he wants to turn it to an ordinary Nigerian university, I'm wondering, is it that they're not bringing competent hands? You know, because I mean, even if they sack all the people that started the university with the dream and the vision and everything, but they're able to get quality and competent hands, shouldn't it be okay? Because then again, if we do that, it brings down the cost, the running cost for that school. Maybe in the end, they're looking at how it can be sustained. Because I know so many schools that used to have expatriates as their principals and all of that. They've kind of like returned them back, and they're using locals, they're using Nigerians. Because again, to maintain the standards of expatriates and all of those things, it's a different ballgame. You have to pay them in foreign currency. You have to do all of those things. So maybe the governing council have just seen that this situation, for us to be able to sustain this university, I don't think it is in a bad faith. I don't think it's in a bad light. I think we should just keep an open mind, right? If they have quality people running the universities that are Nigerians, it can still have that standard. Everything is just the mindset, how they decide to run it. I know, say Nigeria, we get our key leg, but it is not all that bad. We have great hands in Nigeria that can run it. So it depends on how they structure it. But let me hear your thoughts quickly before we run.
Okay, so he actually said it was Wike's vision. He emphasized that it was his vision. He had already put those things in place. So I think he's like, it's not even up to 6 months, and you're taking everybody out. Do you understand? So why, I'm sure there must be a reason why he's lamenting. Well, before they brought these people, did we not have Nigerians here? Why did they choose to bring in these people? Why are Nigerians sending their children abroad? Do you understand? And these people you want us to bring, as in the Nigerians you want us to bring, Nigeria, are they in Covenant? Are they in Bangkok? Where are they? Do you understand? I'm trying to list the very good universities that, do you understand, we already have here in Nigeria. So are they going to bring those people from there to say, oh, move and so come and run? So I think there's a standard they're trying to keep. Yeah. And in all honesty, do you understand? You can't really trust Nigerians when it comes to certain things. You see stories around lecturers trying to do all sorts with students. You don't want that in that kind of university. So I think there's a reason why they put that. And for him to be lamenting, there's a reason why he's saying, you know what? This is not what the vision was. Let's not do this. So that's what I think.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah, that's
Angie, you wanted to add something?
Well, I think she has said quite a bit. It's not just, I understand the point of view you were taking it from, but like she said, first of all, it's too soon. True. And I think he's a very smart man and a very smart businessman. So I think he would have sorted out, I feel like to have such a school, he would have sorted out at least a couple of years. So, giving enough time to even
it's so
be able
interesting
to
because
transfer
he might
knowledge.
even have tenured contracts with those people, because it is hard for you to bring an expatriate without a signed contract,
this
right?
is someone that had plans.
But you see, in all of this, I say this all the time, it's really scary when I see Nigerian companies growing and all. We don't have the culture of succession plan.
Yeah.
We don't. And this thing should just wake people up. Because even me, as I'm talking like this, what if something happens to me tomorrow and I'm incapacitated? There's no succession plan on ground. Yeah. It is a common thing that we all are guilty of. And I'm just hoping. You would think that for someone like, and Herbert Wigwe, I mean, the bank is doing well, but that was his newest baby. The baby that he was really, really looking forward to, to birthing and seeing the baby grow. Yeah. You would think that, at least they would allow that place to just blossom. But I don't know. Let's keep an open mind. But I really understand what you said about it being too soon. But I thought, I would just keep an open mind. I don't know what is in their heart. I don't know why they are trying to sack everybody.
So they should have just allowed it to run for a while.
You can't even use, you don't have enough time to do an analysis.
Do you understand?
It's too
fresh.
It's too
so
fresh.
Allow it to run.
So the fact that it's too fresh already gives it, a negative.
Do you understand?
Yes.
It's
just too
They
fresh.
should let it run.
All
When
right.
it runs and you're like, okay, so it's not working, let's do this. But
True. All right, so we'll take a break now. When we come back from that break, how are we coping? You say, how you did? We had a thing to talk about. How na. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
One of our major problems as Nigerians is we the Nigerians. So the fact that we don't care or love ourselves, we don't care or love our country, we have no loyalty to anyone. We always, and when we have issues in Nigeria, when issues come up, we throw the religious and ethnic, cards to suit our personal and selfish desires. When it comes to election, you are my brother. But when I get into government and I'm eating, I don't try to bring you who is educated and fit for the position, but rather I'll give it to someone who will give me a cut. So we do all these things for selfish desires. And that is how we've gotten to where we are. Because if you are not able to be honest and have high morals and integrity, when it gets to the point of also, when you have stained your hands, it now becomes almost impossible for you to be the same person who will sit on that and be part of a committee that they will put together to persecute someone. because your hands are dirty.
All right, thanks for staying with us. So tonight we want to have a conversation on a pressing issue that affects every Nigerian. Of course, it's our current economic crisis with the inflation rate soaring, unemployment levels rising, and economic growth stalling. The challenges facing Nigeria demands urgent and thoughtful responses. So as of the latest data, Nigeria's inflation rate stands at 40%. This rapid increase in prices have burdened households across the nation, impacting affordability of essential goods and services. Coupled with this is unemployment rates have climbed really high, leaving millions without a steady income or job security. In the face of these challenges, it is imperative to explore strategies that not only stabilizes but also rejuvenates Nigeria's economy. So tonight we want to examine the potential solutions, evaluate their feasibilities, and discuss how each approach can pave the way towards sustainable economic recovery and prosperity for all Nigerians. Let us bear in mind that we're not economists. Let us bear in mind that we're not financial experts. We're not economic experts, right? I think what I feel like we can do best is how we as Nigerians should respond to the current economic crisis. That's the conversation. So, first of all, which way? Let me ask a question, right? What have you done differently this year that you did not have the luxury, or what was the luxury you had last year that you have decided that this year I do not have that luxury to accommodate those things when it comes to like financial spendings? Think really hard.
I don't go to where I don't have to go to. Yes, because filling up your tank now is... So if I don't need to go there,
I'm not going to go there.
I'm not going to go there. In fact, parties now, with the scale up. Yes, we have to scale our parties. Do you understand? Because it's really difficult. Transportation has gone high, going to the market. There was a time they were selling basket of tomato for almost over 100 and something thousand. And I was thinking, how would people who earn 50,000 survive? They would take transport to work. They would eat. You know, there was a time in Nigeria where it was cheaper for you to cook than buy food. Now it's cheaper for you to buy food than cook.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, it is. Because if you have 1,000 naira, you can go get something to eat. But you can't buy anything for 1,000 naira to cook. In fact, I was running mad when I asked them to go buy beans for me, Oloyin, and they told me 14,000 for paint. I was screaming. Derica is 2,002. You can't buy anything for 1,000 naira. Bread is 1,000 something. 1,006. Egg.
5,000, maybe 6,000 plus.
So I honestly don't know how people are surviving. And I know there are people that earn 35,000. There are people that earn... In fact, I was going through somebody's post on my status, and I saw where she said that we have people who earn 25, domestic staffs at home, who earn 25,000. And she doesn't understand how they expect those people to survive.
Without stealing.
Without stealing.
Let me hear your thoughts, NJ. What have you done differently, or what was luxury for you last year? What was happening last year that this year is luxury for you that you cannot afford to do?
Lending. Yeah, and I would say lending because yes, last year it used to be easy to lend because hopes of it coming back. Now it's harder because you're not even sure it's going to come back. So I think what I've done differently this year would be to, if I'm going to give, it should be something I'm going to let go of. So if it doesn't come back, I'm like, okay. Because you don't want to hope on anything, on that false hope. Because most people Now, people are, there was a story I saw in the news, that would have been my news story, but it was an international story. So I think what did they call them? For the Paralympics, am I right?
Olympians, yeah.
So I think one of the Ghanaian team, one of the members of the Ghanaian team lost their life.
Wow.
Yeah. So they sent 6 other people or 4 other people to go and retrieve the body. They went, they didn't come back. They went, they didn't come back. So right now, Ghana is having like a visa scandal. So, you know, that kind of thing. So if it was that good, even in Ghana, they would stay. But they've looked at the situation. I'd rather clean up dead bodies over there than be here.
Wow.
So it's affecting people in different ways, you know. For us, like right now, you use the word what used to be luxury. For some people, it's not even close to the word luxury. It's just barely how to survive on a daily, second by second basis. Before even giving, you know, you're going on the street, a policeman stops you, checkpoint. You don't want to have a conversation, so you just, oh, okay, happy weekend. Now,
you will have that
my
conversation.
Dear, I'm sitting there, I'm looking at you. Can I have your driver's license? Here. Your papers? Here. Your this? Here. Fire extinguisher. Then the guy had to say,
Madam, they go.
Madam, happy weekend. On a Thursday. On a Thursday. And I said, happy weekend to you too. And I turned my car and I left.
No, but it was really bad. I didn't think a time would come where I would see them, you know, share 1 tuber of yam to sell in the market for. Do you understand?
Oh, to sell?
To sell, yes. I never thought that day would come, that you would get to the market and 1 tuber of yam is shared into 4 or 5 for people to afford to eat yam.
My God.
It's that bad.
So you see, I had a lot of foodstuff stock in my house. And for the first time in recent times, I started appreciating the fact that I have foodstuffs. These are things that normally because I don't like to clutter. Normally, if I have something and I'm not eating it, I'm not using it, it's out. I'm sending it to somebody that would need it. It's not like I throw it away. I normally would just gift it or give it out. Now, I've had to, like, when I see, the other day I saw I have a bag of rice, I say, do you understand? So, you don't get what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't become so appreciative of the fact that I have, so the bag of rice, normally that I would just cook, and maybe if it doesn't fit anything, maybe it goes by 3, I didn't measure it. I know how many cup I go cook with, we go feed David, you go feed me. So I'm no longer wasteful, right? I have adjusted so much that, do you know that the other day I opened my freezer and I saw like 4 or 5 Ziplocs of tomatoes. For the first time I said, oh my God, I'm actually this is luxury.
This is luxury.
And you know, normally if I wanted to make like a sauce or something, I would take a lot of tomato. For the first time, I counted 5 balls of tomato. I said, this would be enough. You know, it is amazing how my brain has just switched. Because I know how much, if I was going to go to the market today to buy those things, I know how much it will cost. So all of a sudden, I open my freezer and I'm just thankful to God that, oh my God, at least I have food that can last me. So it is how we're going to manage the food. That is what I am just, you know, looking at. It's so interesting. And you know, see what you said about yams. I had tubers of yams that I bought last year that it was just until maybe my kids are home, right? So when I called my janitor to help clean the house and everything, I just saw the tubers of yam. She packed everything. She was about to throw it. I said, no. Throw what? I said, peel it. Anyone? So what we now did, we peeled it, we now turned them into yam, fries. And we put them in the freezer to freeze them. These are things I will never do before. I'll just pack everything and bundle them in the bin. You know, so when they say that how best should Nigerians respond to the current economic situation, the truth is that the economy is going to get worse. It's not like based on the trajectory of how things are going. So it's I think we just all need to come to terms that this is our reality. Then we now think of, okay, how do I cope amidst all of these things? I know a lot of people have accused us as Nigerians to say that we're very docile people. If we are pushed to the wall, we open the wall and we go inside the wall. We don't turn back to fight, right? But now, again, which is now bringing me to the conversations around protest and all of that, right? The president has said that is asking that Nigerians should suspend the protest because, you know, he understands the plight that we are facing. He understands all the things that we're facing. But reality is that there's hunger in the land. So at this point right now, a lot of people are agitated. So when you were talking your story about the policeman and the Uber driver, these are things, when you see this, you will just realize that a lot of people will continue to go off. Because why? Now, what I am seeing now is not, if you see me now, don't be fooled by this is who I am because where my mind is at, you really do not know. You know, so I just feel like at this point, a lot of us have to become a lot more empathetic, become a lot more sensitive
to people's feelings,
to people around us. Do you understand? You cannot just be licking ice cream. And do you understand? It's true. Because somebody is looking at you and the person is calculating how much that is. You have to, no, I'm being honest, you have to be extremely careful. But Angie, you wanted to say something?
No, what you said just reminded me of something I saw on Instagram. So, but this was, well, you can relate it to this. So a boyfriend and a girlfriend, they were facing each other and they had one string of spaghetti in their mouth.
Yeah.
And they were, doing, all love. And then there was a lady sitting down looking at them like, what the nonsense? I don't know whether she was hungry, but for whatever reason, out of frustration, she just walked up to them and cut it. Nonsense.
Because that is it.
So it's the frustration. So it's just to buttress what you were saying, that people are actually very frustrated. And you can never tell how volatile people can be at that point and what they're feeling and what they're going through. Because someone, like you clearly said, the Uber driver, you don't know where they're coming from. Their worlds might be burning and they look all sane and normal until something just sparks.
Trigger. It's just a trigger, Winnie. But Frank, I'll come to you. Let's take a break, right? When we come back from that break, we have a video we want to play for you guys, and also we'll open the phone lines and we'll touch a little bit on, the situation of the protest and the Oro Festival. Some interesting things are happening there. Stay with us. That is interesting. Now, if you just tuned in, we're having a conversation. It's our ladies' night. We're asking how best should Nigerians respond to the current economic crisis. Now, please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join this conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-8663. You can also call us. The number to call is 07025007749. Remember, when you call, please turn off the volume of whatever device it is you're watching us from. Now, you guys saw that video. Never in my life will I see that, because it's one thing for Nigerians to make jokes, make memes and all of that with the president. Like this woman or the women there, they were outrightly laying curses. Even though I don't understand everything she's saying, but I know that those things were, like how they say shekbe, she was laying curses on the president. And this is just a small window of what people are going through. But Franca, let me hear your thoughts on this. Because people are now calling for protest, right? And again, in the midst of that protest, what will be the name? The government in Lagos have decided that they want to fix Oro Festival. The thing didn't click in my head until I now saw that the protest was actually August 1st and Oro Festival is supposed to be 1st to 15th. But let me hear your thoughts. Do you think we need to have ourselves on the streets and screaming our heads out for us to be able to cope with the economic situation?
Well, honestly, as much as I think it's really bad, I don't think it's a protest because people are not mentally ready. They're not mentally stable. That's the truth. People are going through a lot that any little trigger, you understand, will result in something else. People are going to go on the streets to go and steal. People are going to the streets to go and do all sorts. Everybody's trying to survive. Do you understand? So, yes, there's some people will go out for the right thing. But I can tell you that 80% of the people who are going to go out are hungry and just looking for how to survive. So it's not going to be a peaceful rally. It's not, because I went for an event and even I didn't realize I was burnt out. I needed to hear people talk to understand that I also had a problem. Well, nothing excites me anymore. Do you understand? It's so bad. I'm drowning in whatever is happening around me. I was speaking to someone and he said, I just need a hug. It's no longer about money. It's not, I just need a hug. I just want somebody to hug me so I'll feel like I'm human. That's how bad it is. So you can imagine me in that state of mind, going for a protest, and then I get triggered.
Anything
would trigger you.
Anything would trigger.
Anything would trigger.
But let's hear from the president back in the day. Because we had, social media is so interesting.
They never forget.
They went to bring out our president's video. If we can just watch this for a few seconds, I'll come back to you, NJ.
Could improve this situation for the good of all of us, do not allow the opportunity to make things better for us. They make it better for themselves, for their comfort and their families. Cronyism is prevailing. Today, our rulers in Abuja and across some of their states, you know what they say to us when they remove subsidy and we say no? Hunger is increasing, they say, so what? Unemployment is a cause, they say, yes, we know. Why are the people hungry? Is that let them face death. That is what is in Abuja of today. The current way of governance, let nation do the impossible.
Need to go and find the full video online to watch it. But it's so interesting that I started going through comment sessions when this video was posted, and people are saying that it's so interesting, it's so beautiful, life is beautiful, that full receipts on the internet, and they've said that the president have just given them a beautiful speech that they will use for this protest, that he had planned. History is so beautiful that he gave us our speech years ago, right? A protest speech from the president himself, right? Because now people are saying that it seems like this government understands how powerful protests can be and how they have used protests in the past to manipulate things. And now they understand that, and that's why, there's just been some very, very heavy, subtle threat to the people to say, do not come out and all of that. But NJ, like Franca rightly said, we don't know the state of minds of different people, right? We don't know where their head is at. We don't even know where their health is at. Yeah. You understand? So if you say that we want to deal with the current economic hardship, would you agree, for this call for protest that people are saying that, let us go out on the streets and let us go and air our grievances? Or how would you rather go about that?
Is there any other way? I ask. People protest. The reason why Nigerians protest is because every other time they've been promised a lot and nothing has been delivered. You heard the video. This was a video from how many years ago? And he said, the president clearly said and stated that this was the situation of the people in Abuja, of which, as we speak in this moment, he is president and he's in Abuja. And everything he mentioned in that video is exactly, it's almost just like you said, it's almost like you're predicting your own, you know, you predicted your years in service. And that is what we're seeing. They don't care because the inflation, the subsidy, we're still dealing with it. The food scarcity, the hunger and the food scarcity, we're still dealing with it. Agricultural and structural impediments, we're still dealing with that. So please tell me exactly how different, if you were to repeat this video today, would anybody remember that this video was made years ago? Because that is our current situation. That is our reality now. So you promised us that you would come in and make things better. But we are sitting down here and watching a video you did how many years ago before you got into government? And the government is still the same way it was. And I understand perfectly well that it's going to take time for this to come to life. But please, can we need to get to the point where, I think we've gotten to the point in Nigeria where, like you said, when we get pushed to the wall, we dig a hole in the wall and we go through. So knowing fully well the power of protest is the reason why this current government and dispensation is trying to avoid protests. We saw what happened in October, and to be frank, I was part of that movement. And this movement is an end bad governance. That one was a police brutality, you know, end SARS.
In fact, this president's video, right?
Yes.
Then was end bad governance. The caption on that place, that's it, that end bad governance.
Hence the reason why this is tagged.
It's so, I mean, it's so, that's why people are saying that it's so exciting how he has just prepared a speech ahead of time. You know, because again, you see why I think why it is difficult for people to understand for people to trust the government is the fact that you are the same government that were part of the people calling for protests, doing a lot of things until, Jonathan was kicked out, Buhari came in and all of that. You are the same government. So you understand that these things are the reality and the hardship that people are facing, right? And it is still the same you that understands the same problem that is allowing yourselves to buy a private jet for the government, for the president for 150 billion. You are still the person buying cars for hundreds of millions of naira. You are still the person renovating the vice president's lodge, apartment with billions of naira. You are still the same government. It's not like it's a different government. You are the one saying you understand the hardship. And we are seeing that you are not putting your money where your mouth is. Because the truth is, if you truly understand the hardship, there are some kinds of decisions you will never take. Like what I said before. You know there's hunger. You go and stand in front of people that are hungry and you are licking ice cream. What are you trying to tell the people? Because that's what our president is doing. Buying a jet of 150 billion when people are hungry, they are not able to buy food.
Minimum wage.
Come on.
Well, you're even taking it too far.
No, I have to take it far.
You know why I say you're taking it too far? This video tells you he was fighting for something. That means he has been here before getting there. Do you understand? So he claims to understand what everybody is going through. That's why he did this video. Do you understand? Now, we have put you there, solve our problem. Do you understand? He wasn't the government. He wasn't in the government before. So I think you were saying, oh, you know this, that means you have a solution. Now you're there. You're even worse than the people who were there when you did this video. And you expect us to have hope and trust in this same government. How is that possible?
It's so interesting, honestly, because the thing, when I saw it, my brain just did bust.
Well, because they know, the government, like you said, the government knows the power of protest. Because protest happens in every country, everywhere. In France, in the US, every day, for different reasons, small protests, large-scale protests, of all different kinds, for different reasons. So telling a country's people not to express themselves and the way that they feel because you feel that the protest will be taken out of context. Protest has been taken out of context for years. What the federal government and the state government should be doing is making sure that lives and properties are secure.
But they cannot make sure, NJ.
By if you know that there's going to be a protest that they have told you, the associations involved have told you that it's going to be a peaceful protest. Wait, let me land. If they've told you that it's going to be a peaceful protest, what happens to making sure that even the groups of people that you very well know, I would not say further than that you very well know, they know those groups that cause the problems. Because the same federal government used those groups in their time.
Have you forgotten that the boss that brought the thugs with cutlasses and whatever to come and disrupt the what's it called? The protest, they were inside a BRT bus. But let's take Loma from, I think, Abia. Thank you for calling. Good evening.
Good evening, my dear sister.
Good evening,
Yeah, Loma from Abia State.
Go ahead, please.
I'm telling you, you people have just made my day. I'm telling you, this night, you just showed us the president protesting. And our president is now against protest. It's a hypocrisy. That is hypocrisy. You don't tell me that you protested and every damn thing our president said is exactly what he is doing now. What he stood against then is exactly what is going on now. Oh, how are the mighty fallen? So I want to use this opportunity to tell our president, please, Augusta, try and allow the protest. Though I will not join, but whoever that want to go on protest, let him allow them to go on protest. And make sure that you turn this Nigeria back to good luck, Jonathan time.
Thank you.
Rice was 6,000 a bag.
Thank you.
5,000.
Thank you,
now
Loma.
look at what it is.
It's so interesting. Thank you so much. The internet never forgets. It's so interesting how things are
how the tables
turn. And you know, the sad thing is that every word that he said there is the exact same thing playing out. Like, there is no difference. That's why people are just saying that it's so good that the internet is available. Do you understand?
When I saw the video, when I saw it, what did I say? I said they shouldn't make a new video. They should just use the same video as
a template.
As a template.
Yeah, but it's the truth.
Yes.
And this is what happens most of the time. You know, you make all these empty promises without... Yes, you have plans, but at least you've been in this country for long enough to even put strategic plans. There's a difference. Strategic plans in terms of how will the people who you're about to make these plans for survive within those... You know, you can't give people back-to-back inflation.
As in, it's back-to-back. From fuel subsidy,
transportation, everything just... Now you leaving your house. There was a video.
I don't know. Come leaving
your. There was a video I saw on Instagram. Leaving your house. The guy and his wife stepped out of the house.
$2.
No, $2,000.
We have a caller. We have a lot of callers. Good evening. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Pastor.
Pastor who? Go ahead, please. Okay, go ahead.
You see, my take is this: the president have the opportunity to address the people. Let him make the nationwide broadcast and assure the people that he will do something that they are doing. Let's start speaking through problems here.
Oh, wow.
Add more.
We're struggling to hear you, but I think I can make sense of what he said about the president should come out and give a nationwide address to the people. You know, they change anything, Sha, if it gives the nationwide address. Because, like what you said, NJ, you're very spot on. You know, the cutting this off, it's not strategic. Because as they land us with, they slap us with fuel subsidy, we never recover. You slap us with band A, band B, we never recover. Food, you understand? And in all of these things, security that is supposed to help with food crisis, we are not visibly seeing it being solved. Farmers are not going back to their lands. You understand? Food is not being planted or harvested.
Importation of drugs.
You know, no, but even that importation of drugs, what he did eventually was he said they took out the import duties so that they could bring in the drugs so that at least drugs would be stable. So that one, I think he tried to solve the problem.
Well, he didn't solve it.
It is well. It is well. I don't even know what to say.
70% of Nigerians have high blood pressure, high BP.
It's worse off.
It's worse
Our
off
health
now.
situations
It's
are
worse off now. And you can't afford to buy the drugs.
Because the drugs are expensive, because the drug companies have left Nigeria.
You can't even get the drugs.
Major food organizations and, manufacturers have left the country.
So it means that this protest is inevitable.
Yes. Oh, my dad is in Benin. He calls me to look for a drug he takes in Lagos. Do you understand how bad it is? You can't get some drugs. So even if you get the money,
you know if you won't buy them.
You know if you buy them.
Wow. This is really sad. What's the way forward? What's the way forward? What's the way forward?
Well, you're in politics now. You will go ask.
Which kind of politics? I know they politics. Where I feel they politics. Daniel Illo, this your message is long, oh Jehovah. Angel, now you go read them.
Should I go ahead? Good evening, my dear beautiful sisters of What Are You Saying? #ways. How best should Nigerians respond to our current economic crisis?
Angel, you have to be faster.
Firstly, the way to respond to the present economic crisis is to have a good business to survive on. Someone who is living on monthly salary cannot cope. That's the plain truth. My dear beautiful sister Franca made mention of the planned protest by Nigerians, which she says it will not be peaceful because this can be an opportunity for crime. So many things happening. This is so unfortunate that we have this kind of government that can only think about themselves alone and not of we the masses. The government is wicked and heartless. No two ways about it. My dear beautiful sister Uwa made mention of the government buying presidential private jets, yet people are dying of hunger daily. After watching this video, it has reached the level of women laying curses on the president. You cannot blame them. If the president is against the protest, then things should be back to normal. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is filled with empty promises. He is only concerned about being president alone. He has no clue about governments, and that is the plain truth. Okay. My name is Daniel Ilo, Ways regular fan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel. Prince from, okay. Hello, Prince, you're live.
Yeah, Chris, my name is Prince from Abba.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, based on your discussion, this is the issue we are having in Nigeria, where we have some leaders we are initially so desperate based on being first to have a power. Now we cannot see something like what we see in Kadia. We cannot see Diana, the former activist man. These are people that were previous years fighting good Dr. Jonathan of subsidy removal. And today now, they are now causing more problems than what we are saying before.
Thank you, Prince.
Now, the worst thing is that there is a protest people predicted, and the IG of police is threatening everywhere. The DSS is threatening. The presidency is threatening. The special administrative presidency is threatening. There is no any presidential coordination in terms of to have an very formidable address to the nation. At least to know what is going on.
Thank you. Oh, so sorry, Prince. We're running out of time. Good evening, ladies. It beats me when people keep expecting things from this local government. Over a year, it's been audio promises. These guys have nothing to offer Nigerians. Nigerians need to realize this fact ASAP and do the needful. They don't care about us. Someone just snatched, grabbed, and running with power for the sake of it. Having a good business to survive on with pandemic of empty pockets all over and purchasing power being crushed daily. They play, they play. Ni or mole. It is well. I mean, as I said, I don't even know how to say to respond to the current situation. Me, I'm just going to beg you that please, whatever we keep. Okay, we have a last caller. Quickly, in 1 minute. Go ahead, please. You're live. Hello? Friday, quickly.
Who are discussing? Are you hearing me?
Go ahead, quickly, yeah.
Yes. Nigeria is not matured for protest.
Go ahead.
And the reason is, when it starts, we'll look at it as if things is going well. But before you know it, those who will hijack it will affect the interest of the nation as a whole. And as at that time, even you guys that are on the studio there, you won't be able to even come to the studio, not to even talk of presenting a program again. So that is what is best for us in this nation is to see whether we can give this man a chance. Nobody is finding it easy. I'm not having any special market with my family. But the thing is, the security personnel will suffer the most when it starts.
Thank you so much, Friday. I totally agree with you, like what Franca said earlier, that we're not in the right mental space for a protest, because any little thing. And let me tell you something. I still believe that all these people that are coming to disrupt protests are sent by the people that have the capacity to. It is not the people that are fighting for it. People intentionally send moles to come and disrupt it. And that's why I'm saying that we're not ready. I truly do not believe that we need a protest, right? I'm still looking for the strategic way that we can solve that problem. This Matataya person, if the president must address us, let him address solution, e.g. the largest they share, waste of taxpayers' money on frivolities, insecurity, etc., and amongst others. Good evening, but you didn't drop your name. Thank you so much, ladies. We ran out of time. Oh my goodness. You see this matter? I tell you people every time. But thank you, NJ. Thank you, Franca. I hope you come back again.
Oh, I will.
All right, before we go, ensure you follow us across all our social media handles. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. If you missed our quote, here it is again. Successful diversification requires continuous investment in education, infrastructure, and innovations to create a vibrant ecosystem where new industries can thrive and replace declining ones. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen.
Bye.